The remarkable life of a rhinoceros. The ancient beast of the wild. The rhinoceros is one of the oldest living mammals on Earth, with ancestors that date back more than 50 million years. These huge horned herbivores once roamed across vast areas of Africa, Asia, and even parts of Europe. They are members of a special group of animals called odd-toed ungulates, which also includes horses and tapirs. Despite their size and thick skin, rhinos are actually quite sensitive animals with keen hearing and smell. There are 5 species of rhinos today: white rhino, black rhino, Indian rhino, also known as greater one-horned rhino, Javan rhino, and Sumatran rhino. Each species has different behaviors, habitats, and physical features, but all are fascinating in their own way. Fun fact, rhinos are sometimes called living dinosaurs because they've survived for so long with very few evolutionary changes. The birth of a rhino. A baby rhino is called a calf, and it usually weighs around 88 to 140 pounds, 65 kilos at birth. Female rhinos, called cows, carry their babies for a very long time, around 15 to 18 months, one of the longest pregnancies in the animal kingdom. Rhino calves are born without horns, and their skin is much softer than adults. Within just a few hours of birth, the baby can stand and walk, staying very close to its mother. The mother rhino is extremely protective, and will charge at anything that comes too close to her calf. The calf drinks its mother's milk for about a year, but may start nibbling on grass after only a few weeks. Fun fact, a baby rhino can run surprisingly fast by the time it's just a few weeks old, up to 20 mph, 32 km. Where rhinos live. Rhinos live in a variety of habitats, depending on their species. White and black rhinos are found in parts of Africa, living mostly in savannas and open grasslands. Indian, Javan, and Sumatran rhinos live in Asia, often in thick forests and swamplands. Rhinos love places where they can wallow in mud. It helps keep their skin cool and protects them from sunburn and insects. Some rhinos live in areas with lots of water, while others survive in drier grasslands. They often create paths through their habitat called rhino trails, which other animals sometimes use too. Fun fact, rhinos have very poor eyesight, but their hearing and smell are excellent. They can detect predators or humans from far away just by scent or sound. A day in the life of a rhino. Rhinos spend most of their time grazing, sleeping, and wallowing in mud. White rhinos are grazers, eating mostly grass, while black rhinos are browsers, feeding on bushes and leaves. They are mostly active during the early morning and late afternoon when it's cooler. During the hottest parts of the day, rhinos like to rest in the shade or take a long mud bath. Wallowing in mud isn't just for fun. It also keeps their skin moist and removes ticks and other parasites. Rhinos usually live alone. They are solitary animals. The white rhinos are more social and may form small groups. Fun fact, a rhino's skin is very thick, about 1.5 to 5 centimeters, but it can still feel a tickle or a bite. The secret language of rhinos. Even though they look quiet, rhinos actually have their own ways of communicating. They use grunts, growls, snorts, bellows, and even squeaks to talk to one another. They also use their body language. For example, a rhino might lower its head or paw the ground to show it feels threatened. Rhinos mark their territory using urine and dung piles called middens. These help send messages to other rhinos in the area. Scientists believe rhinos can tell a lot from dung, like the age, sex, and even mood of the rhino who left it. Fun fact, rhinos have an amazing ability to smell messages. Their noses are like reading a newspaper for wild animals. What's for dinner? Rhinos are herbivores, which means they eat only plants. Different species have different shaped lips based on their diet. Black rhinos have pointed, prehensile lips, almost like little fingers, to grab leaves and twigs from trees. White rhinos have wide, square lips perfect for grazing on grass. Indian rhinos eat tall grass, fruit, and aquatic plants, often found in marshy areas. They eat hundreds of pounds of vegetation each day to keep up their massive size. Fun fact, a white rhino can eat up to 120 pounds, 55 kilos of grass in one day. The myth of the rhino horn. Rhinos are best known for their amazing horns, which grow from their nose. But did you know that a rhino's horn is made of the same stuff as your fingernails and hair? It's called keratin. Some rhinos have one horn, like the Indian and Javan rhinos, while others, like the black and white rhinos, have 2. Sadly, rhino horns are often the reason these animals are hunted illegally. People wrongly believe the horn has special powers, but in reality, rhino horn has no medicinal value at all. Fun fact, rhinos can grow their horn back if it's broken or trimmed, just like your nails. friends, and foes in the wild. Even though rhinos are big and strong, they do have a few enemies. Humans are their biggest threat because of poaching and habitat destruction. In the wild, only large predators like lions, hyenas, or crocodiles might attack a baby rhino. Rhinos often have tick birds or oxpeckers on their backs. These birds eat parasites off the rhino's skin. These birds also serve as little alarm systems, warning rhinos of nearby danger. Fun fact, rhinos and elephants don't always get along. They sometimes compete for food and space, the gentle giant's strength. Rhinos are among the largest land mammals on Earth. A male white rhino can weigh up to 2,300 kilograms, 5,000 pounds. Despite their size, they can run surprisingly fast, up to 40 to 50 km/h, 25 to 30 mph for short distances. Their thick skin acts like armor, but they're still vulnerable to wounds, especially if they fight with other rhinos. Male rhinos may battle each other for territory or mating rights, using their horns like swords. But most of the time, rhinos prefer to avoid conflict and live peacefully. Fun fact, a charging rhino can flip over a small car. That's how powerful they are. Saving the rhinos. Rhinos are endangered. That means they're at risk of disappearing forever. There are fewer than 30,000 rhinos left in the wild, and some species, like the Javan rhino, have fewer than 100 individuals remaining. Organizations and governments around the world are working hard to protect them. This includes creating protected parks, using rhino tracking collars, and even relocating rhinos to safer areas. Some parks use special rhino guardians or anti-poaching dogs to help stop illegal hunters. Fun fact, in some places, rhino horns are safely trimmed by scientists to stop poaching, and the horn grows back naturally.